Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Shalu Joshi Bhardwaj here. Today I'll be telling you the basics, the ways to do true, false, not given and yes, no, not given answers. In the reading exam, this is the toughest part and you follow this way and I'm sure you will be able to score much higher. But before moving ahead, please subscribe to my channel and click the bell button. Let's start. True, false, not given, and yes, no, not given. These questions you will find in your reading IELTS exam, and basically, these questions test your understanding ability. The examiner wants to test how better can you understand the given passage. Okay? And the difference between basic difference between true, false, not given and yes, no, not given is that true false not given is fact based question means you must have given some information in the passage which you have to compare with the question and you have to decide whether it's true false or not given. And on the other hand, yes no not given questions, they test you for how have you perceived the author's opinion basically. So yes no not given is all about what author thinks. Okay, what is perception or what is opinion of author, and true false and not given is all about the facts, the actual information, factual information which is given in the passage. So this is the basic difference between these two questions, and the purpose of these exams is testing your understanding ability, right? Let's first start with true, false, and not given answers. As I have told you that these are fact-based questions, I'm again saying this thing that basically in these questions you see the statement, you read the question, and then you go back to the passage. In the passage, what you have to find is if the information given in the question is same as that given in the passage, or it is opposite, or it is not given. So, this is basically what you have to do in these kind of questions. If if the information that the question says is exactly same, exactly is the important word, it's exactly same as in the passage, it's true. Okay? But if it is opposite, I'm again saying, if it is exactly opposite to what is said in the passage, then you will have to write false. And if nothing is said about it, then you have to say not given. True, false, not given, these are the understanding based and factual based in questions, and you have to basically compare what the question says and what the passage says. All right? Now is yes, no, and not given. Yes, no, and not given, as I have told you earlier too, that these are the questions where you have to decide the answer whether yes, no, or not given according to the author's point of view. Okay? Means you have to write yes if the question says something which is exactly same as that of author's viewpoint. And if it's opposite, you have to say no. And if you cannot say it after reading the passage, if nothing is given, then you have to say not given. Okay? For attempting true, false, and not given, or yes, no, not given answers, you have to basically read the passage and understand it. You should grasp what the author is trying to say, what is actually given in the passage. Now let's start with how to do it. To do such answers, first you what you need to do is you have to analyze the statement properly. You read it, you understand it. Spend few moments on it. Okay. After analyzing, once you have actually derived what it wants to say, okay, then what you have to do is paraphrased questions are needed to be understood. Again, the same thing. What is written in the passage and what is given in the question, they may never be same. The keywords used, they may not be the same. They might be paraphrased, rather most of the times it's paraphrased. So you have to understand, you have to link the things. Okay. What next? Now, when you have learned about the question, when you know what actually the statement says, what next you should do is you should scan the text. The strategy of scanning has already been discussed. I'll link it below in the description box. So basically, you scan the text. Why do you do it? You want to locate the answer. You do not waste the whole time to write it, to read the question right from the beginning till the end. So basically, scan it quickly to locate the answer. And do not fall for the keywords. Okay? Keywords may be a trap. Most of the times, it's my experience, most of the times it's paraphrased. What you should look for is, instead of keywords, you may look for the name of places, the name of time, like this century, this era, or anything like this in 20th century, 21st century, and anything related to time that's expressing the time, or the topic related details or the vocabulary which is given. So these few things you may see, and you may find these similar in the question and the passage. Except for this, don't fall for the keywords. Next is, while reading and understanding the question and deducing your answer, once you have located it, you will be comparing it. But while doing it, take care of the modal verbs. The strength or the affinity of the gravity of situation, the gravity of the thing, it changes with the modal verbs. Can, may, might, will, would. So the level it changes with the modal verbs. So always pay attention to the modal verbs. Okay, now you have read it. You know what modal verbs are, where you have to look, you have scanned it, you have found where you have to read it. Then comes the intensive reading. This is the third strategy which we discussed in our reading strategy. I'll link it in the description box too. So then you read in detail. Intensive reading means read in detail. Then you start reading it and you will find your answer. Another important point which you should keep in mind is that most of the times these questions they come in the same order. If you will find first question on in the upper paragraph, then second will follow it, then third, then fourth. It will be like this. Okay. And another important thing, another mistake which students make is that instead of yes, no, not given, at times they write true, false, or not given, or the vice versa. So keep your mind open while writing it down in your answer sheet. Transferring your answers on the answer sheet. You have to write only and only what is asked. And if you have read the passage, if you have read the question, you have followed everything properly, you looked for everything, but you cannot find the answer, put not given. There's no way, no fun of wasting the time for something which is not given and wasting your time over it. Okay? So this is all for these kind of yes, no, not given, true, false, not given questions in the reading section of IELTS exam. And that's all for now. Stay motivated, keep practicing. Good luck, guys.